Alright, we just did the port side walkthrough, let's do the starboard. So to maintain our format, let's go above the rub rail. It's just hard to find something to pick on this boat for it. I mean, I just wonder if, like, where the boat was, if there was even anywhere to go. Like here, there's bars and restaurants every few miles, so it's easy to get just a scratch, even if you're super careful, or a nick in the rub rail or something. Okay, so we did both sides. Now let's go keel. Nothing there. Let's do hull to the starboard side, change my grip. Chines are nice. Everything's nice. Okay. Port side. Streaks. Nothing funky. Nothing on the chine. Nothing on the roller. So, when you put the boat back on the trailer, very important. This, my friend, is called the bow eye. This is the roller. Bow eye needs to be flush at the roller here, nice and tight. Otherwise, if this is down here per se, let's just say, the boat's gonna buck like a Bronco on the trailer going down the highway. Okay, so get those nice and tight. Cut up in our trailer here, 2 5/16 inch ball, 5-pin flat. Typically you have an 8-round adapter, so you'll have to or get one. 8 round to 5 flat. Safety change, safety ripcord for your braking system. Here's your jack, your spare. Let's go for a ride. Alright, it's a beautiful day here at the Lake of the Ozarks. Not that you care about that. What you care about is this stunning 262 Rinker. It's my intention to make one of the most detailed videos that I've made in a while, because I want to make sure you're comfortable. It's a lot of money and you're not right down the road. Okay, so let's take a hard look at condition. From an operational standpoint, I'll do all that in the boat. Okay. Actually, rewind. Let's go above rub rail. Something to kind of explain here now. These are hinges, which is great, you know, for storage, but it does chip the paint a little bit around those bolts. You can use touch-up paint, but because that's actually not fiberglass, it's powder-coated aluminum, or painted metal, just like my boat. See, the rub rail's nice. Now let's go below the rub rail in black. Normally I talk a lot more, but there's nothing bad to say on the boat, so it's not like jacked up. There's less verbiage. Okay. Go aft. Now, very important to remember when you get your boat back out of the water, take your plug out. Okay? Right here. Okay, you'll take that out when you get it out of the water. Why? The bilge pump's automatic, but if you're leaving it outside, ultimately it's going to fill with water when the battery did. Okay? Putting the plug in.
Oh, okay.
First things first, before we put the boat in the water, which we're doing this in reverse, but this is Mr. Bill. Very first thing we do, put our plug in. Nice job, Vanna. Right down here is where it goes. Hand tight's good enough unless you're leaving it in there for the whole weekend. Even hand tight, strong as Billy and I are, sometimes we got to use pliers or something to get it out, because the boat actually sucks it in when you're going down the lake. Okay? So that's first thing first. Let's go for a ride. Alright, we're out here on the water. Billy just filmed me making a spin. The second thing we do before we start the boat, we come back here and switch this to both. Why do we do that? The boat has a 2-battery system and a built-in charger when it's not in use. When we go boating, we turn this to both. The alternator is going to charge both batteries as we're driving up and down the lake. Why would we switch it? Oh, if we're stopped, coved out, listening to the radio, having a good old time, switch it to 1 or 2. That'll isolate your systems onto a battery. That way, if you go to start it, click, 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 you have another battery, which is fully charged, ready to go. So we turn that on to both. Shut our hatch. I always try to keep this strap pulled out. Not that it's a big deal, but it makes it easier to lift. Okay, and come up here. 3 things that the boat won't start. If you turn the key and nothing happens whatsoever, most likely your battery switch is off, or it's slightly in gear. If the boat is slightly in gear, it will not start, okay? Click, click, click. Second reason battery won't start, we're familiar with that. Number 3, the most important one that people always forget, kill switch. If this is in the off position, the boat will not run. Shuts off the charge to it, okay? So otherwise, we just turn the key. Fires right up, okay? So now, as we're off the trailer, when we're on the trailer, we trim down just a little, okay? Because it'll be all the way up. Always remember to put it all the way up before you put it back on the trailer. So we trim down a little till we're about in 3 feet of water. We're at 58 feet of water right now, okay? I know how accurate these are because it's roughly 50 feet back there at the no-wake moves, okay? Now, shifting, real easy. Bravo 3s are simple. You just lift up the red lever and engage it into gear. There's a definitive catch right here. Stop for neutral, or for forward. Neutral's in the middle. Definitive stop for reverse. Then your throttle range is beyond that. Your tilt and trim right here. I've had a lot of people that get excited to drive. As they accelerate, they're holding their thumb on the trim up button. All of a sudden, whoa, boat's not going anywhere. My sound effects are definitely accurate, by the way. So now we got tilt steering right here. We can set this wherever we want it. Let's go through our systems, okay? Silent choice. This is the captain's call exhaust. Hopefully you can hear how much quieter the boat got. Now we only switch that at idle speed. Why? Because when we choose that, we're actually choosing how our boat expels the water, which is mixed with the exhaust. So if it's going out the outdrive, or if it's going through the side, through the outdrive's quiet, through the side gives us this nice tone, okay? It's off right now, that's why it's quiet. What turns the flappers that choose how it's coming out is a pencil lead, no, not really, like a thinner than a pencil, but bigger around in diameter than the lead bar, okay? Now I promise, not the first time, but one of these times for sure, if you're choosing your captain's call exhaust setup at a high speed, you will bust the flapper. Bust, not the flapper, the bar that turns the flappers, okay? Now, buttons and switches. Horn, works. Bilge pump, that's automatic, it works. It's automatic. The National Marine Manufacturers Association states that all boats have to have a switch, even though it's automatic. Galley pump, this is for the water system. A lot of people get excited. They get the boat home. They fill up everything. They fill up the gas. They fill up the water. Well, they don't use the water, then it smells like raw sewage. Panel lights. This is a dimmer. See your depth finder reading? I know that that was important to you, that it didn't just stay at the same number, okay? Now we'll go through the gauges as we go through the other side. Speedo, we won't know until we accelerate. Low on fuel, but that's fine. Voltage, engine temp, oil pressure, tack, trim. Our trim gauge does work. Let's go up. That's it. Let's go down. Okay. Hillbilly GPS right here. Like that. Okay. Cockpit lights. Now these are LED interior lights. We've already talked about that on the last video. Transom light is on the swim platform. Docking lights are up front. When we're driving at nighttime, we're navigating. That's the red and green. It's built in up front. White lights built into the arch up there. Right there. In the middle's off. If we're stopped at night, we're anchored. Okay, that's all the way down. Now, driving at night, here you have a panel light button. Okay, that'll make this dimmer or brighter. Okay. Blower, you'll notice I didn't use it. You should anytime you're at idle speed. But being that it's multi-port injected, if you forget, no big deal. Now, if we're gonna just listen to the radio and hang out, turn your key over here to the auxiliary position. In the middle's off, auxiliary to the left. That will basically shut your hour meter off, because this hour meter is ran directly to the key, not to the motor. Okay, so now we got shelf storage here. Let's take a look around. Table still in the plastic. Looking up into the bow. The bow's nice. Okay, we got storage underneath these seats. Let's take a look at the storage. I put the bow cover in here. Fit an anchor. Okay. For dropping your anchor, throw it out, pull the rope back to you till it's tight, and tie it off to one of these cleats up here. These just pop in and pop out. Right. So there's the bow. Ski storage in the floor here. I got the cockpit cover in here. Okay, toilet, table, my shoes. Okay, we got flip up bolster seats so you can sit up higher, or they flip back down. Storage underneath this. Bobby got a little dirty in here. We replaced spark plugs, that's all we had to do. Storage in this, your filler cushion, butt filler cushion for the walkthroughs, and the head. Here's our sink, our cooler. We have our fire extinguisher. Storage back here in a big tub at this walkthrough. Big swing platform. Everything looks great, so let's go through it. Now, you'll see people going up and down the lake all day with their windshields open. It's always a habit of mine, I just shut it. Why? Because if you leave it open, it's ultimately going to begin to bow against the windshield here, then it'll never fit. You see how nicely it fits? So, let's go for a ride, shall we? Alright, trim tab buttons are over here. Now, what my intention is to run the boat hard, okay? Trim down, then I'm going to trim up. I'll explain trim after I do all these things. And then I'm going to use the trim tabs as well, just to show they work, okay? So, for now though, let's test the speed of this boat trimmed down and trimmed up. It's a beautiful day at the lake, by the way. And this, my friend, is a beautiful boat. Bravo 3 keeps the boat running nice and flat. He doesn't climb real high out of the water. See that? The transition is ultimately just a skip, not a step. So, looking down here, gonna open her up, leaving her trimmed down, by the way. Kicking off a little way. So right there, we're running around 50. Let's trim up now. 1, 2. See our speed increasing? So we're letting the boat get up on top of the water. 55. In. Around 60, a little more than 60 is our top speed. Okay, so I'm going to slow back down now. So once I kind of get to a comfortable cruising speed, then what's comfortable, I'll find it here in a second. Put right in here. Around 3,900 RPM. You can go slower too. Now, these bow down. I'm sure I can see it on the video. Bow down, that pushes the bow down. Bow up brings the bow back up. Okay? So, the point of these is to create lateral stability. If we got more people to the port side of the boat, we can level it back out. Okay? But for now, let's just show how they work. I'm not touching the steering wheel, I'm just touching the trim tabs. One side down, see the boat tilting and turning. Okay, we get it straightened back out. Now if you get these all mixed up, let's say the heavy person moves, no big deal. Just hold it up for about 6 seconds and it'll come from all the way down, all the way back up. Now, let's do the other one. Down. See the boat turn the other way. So they both work, okay? Now you do have indicators and they work as well. Always make sure, bow up. The tabs are up when you go to dock the boat. If not, they catch water and they make it hell to dock it, okay? Great thing. Open up the riveting cock, you just release that boot, the straps, and hook them up in here, okay? Now, tilt and trim. When I get back in the boat, I'll have Billy videotape me explaining tilt and trim. Since this is your first boat, I just want to make sure you understand it, okay? Hopefully you noticed how much the boat sped up as I trimmed up. So keep that in mind. I'm going to shut this down, put it on the trailer, and have Billy record me explaining how trim works, okay?
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
One more thing I wanted to do, just because I'm a guy and I think this boat sounds amazing, is I wanted to accelerate with the captain's call open. Hopefully, I know it's a video, I know it's an iPhone I'm filming the video with, but hopefully you can hear how awesome she sounds. Oh yeah! Yeah, that'll grow chest hair. One more thing I wanted to do, just because I'm a guy and I think this boat sounds amazing, is I wanted to accelerate with the captain's call open. Hopefully, I know it's a video, I know it's an iPhone I'm filming the video with, but hopefully you can hear how awesome she sounds. Oh yeah! Yeah, that'll grow chest hair. Couple things I needed to include here. Obviously, for the stereo, you got a remote here. The actual unit's over there, but you just hold the power button down once the boat's on. Okay, turn it down, turn it up, turn it down, etc. Okay, now putting the boat on the trailer, taking it off the trailer. Everybody thinks that's easy. Okay, so just a reminder: make sure the tabs are up. Over here, tabs are up. Okay, putting it in the water, you just basically back it up until you'll see the aft end of your boat go bloop, float. Putting it on the trailer, Billy's actually a little deeper than I like. I like to just barely be able to see the front of the bunks. The bottom-most bunks, I like to barely see them out of the water. Okay? Someone called me. It's okay, sleep. Okay, so now, here we are. Our alarm. This goes off when we're under 3 feet of water. Okay? Am I lined up? So, nothing is herky-jerky on these boats, period. If you're herky-jerky juicing this as you're trying to get it up there closer, you're going to get somebody hurt. So I just like to give slow, steady pressure. See my thumb? My intention is you can hear the motor revving. Nice, slow, steady pressure till you get nice and tight. Okay? Now, I'm on the trailer. Shut my captain's call off. Wait for it to change. Turn the ignition off. Your battery switch will actually turn all this off, okay? So we're done boating for the day. We got the boat on the trailer, right? Go ahead and pull me out, Bill. Come back here. We're gonna shut our battery switch off. Oh, look at the little ducks. Such a serene day. So we're done. We're done. Off. Everything's dead. Hear the radio go off? Bye, ducks. So, jump out and do a walkthrough